Hello and welcome back to our series looking at the current build of Legends of Ellaria. We're on build 0.8.02.01 as we were in our previous two videos. In the first video we looked at the escape from Mara, and that dealt with some combat tutorials and using RTS mode, etc. Last time we dealt with speaking to advisors and doing missions and leveling up our character, at least to a certain extent. So we have eliminated the abandoned camp. We're now speaking to Argyle, our advisor from the world map, which is kind of a nice quality of life thing for people. Before I get any more into things though, I need to be transparent and let you know that I'm not part of the development team of the game, but I have written a lot of story for the main story of the game, some side quests. I've written the introduction to the game that plays when you start the game up as well. I've also reviewed some things for the guys as well, some dialogue and stuff like that too. So I have a connection to the game. So when you listen to my opinions, keep that in mind, that maybe they are colored by that. I do try to be as honest as possible in my opinions on things, but I want you guys to have the full story so that you don't think that I'm gonna try to pull the wool over your eyes or anything like that. But let's get on with what we're doing today. So we have Argyle here, who is our main advisor. One thing I would say is it would be nice if his picture there matched the person that we talked to previously, and the same with Captain Morris as well. It'd be nice if the guys were able to create the advisor Argyle in the game that looks like this portrait, because the portrait actually looks more how I picture Argyle myself. But that is hopefully something that will come in the future. Let's see what Argyle has to say. But our kingdom needs proper management, and we need to restore our economy and influence. We need to build more than houses and crude weapons. How do we do that? I prepared a list of things we need to do. You should research and build some buildings for your town. You should also expand your influence. Here, I've detailed everything in this list. Good luck. Okay, click on your kingdom stats button to view your kingdom stats. So before we move on, there was another option that we could have said to him there, which was basically along the lines of, I'm not a ruler, I'm an adventurer. And I believe you can select that to then prompt the game to auto-manage building and your kingdom and stuff like that. And you can just go out and kind of, you know, if you want to play it more akin to something like Skyrim, where you're a lone adventurer going around the map and exploring and fighting and doing things, you can do that. But this one is going to teach us how to look after a kingdom. So we're gonna have a little bit of a look at that. So here is our kingdom. I'm wondering as well in the future if we're going to be able to customize the flag for our kingdom, because at the moment it always defaults to this one. It'd be nice to maybe be able to do that at some point in the future, or maybe have different flags you can select from, similar to games say like Battle Brothers or something like that. Let's have our kingdom information here. We've got manpower, which is the available people that we have. We increase that by building more houses. We've got our happiness, which we increase that by giving people things that they need. So if they need shelter, or they need food, or by giving them extra goods to buy, etc. Management is in terms of how well we are managing our kingdom as a whole. There's always going to be some kind of inefficiency there. And we have kingdom efficiency penalty as well. You can see is 92%. At the moment we've got 0 crime. The less soldiers we have in our towns, the more crime is going to increase. Trade is 66%. We increased that by building markets, and also forming trade routes with other settlements. We've got our mining efficiency, farming efficiency, wood gathering, tax efficiency, etc. All those kind of speak for themselves. It says Riftstone 0, which is weird because up here it says Riftstone 1. So maybe they are different things. And then it says Research 1, but I think that's Research there and it's at 7. So I'm not sure whether there's either a disconnect between these two displays or they're just talking about different things and it's not clear. Then we have our daily resources. So as you can see, we're getting 40 gold a day, 23 wood a day, 18 stone, 18 iron, 32 food. So at the moment we nothing is draining our resources. But the more soldiers we hire, the more we have to pay them, the more it's going to drain our gold, the more we have to go out onto the map and find either treasure to supplement our income or go and find other sources of income that's going to make sure that we can cover our costs. So the larger army we have, the more it's going to cost us, the more we have to expand our kingdom to meet that need. So then we have our cities here as well. So at the moment we've only got one city, Ellaria. I don't know whether at some point we're going to be able to name the towns ourselves. It would be nice to kind of customize it and make it feel like it's your kingdom rather than just the game's kingdom. And then we have our upkeep, which is the army that we have at the moment, which is 5 gold and 5 food for the people that we have. Right, so we're going to close it down. Your kingdom has a daily revenue and upkeep. Use the research view to unlock and build specialized buildings to increase your revenue. Okay. Now, so it wants us to click on this. Press the research button we just did. I'm pressing it, but nothing is happening. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then we have economy here. So this is similar to the character screen that we saw before. So we have economy here, establish commerce, and then we have levels that we can lock. So we have 7 research points that we can spend, similar to our skill points that we had before. Going to unlock that, and I guess if we wanted to, we could go into other things, but not right now because the game is forcing us to close it down. But we have 6 other points that could be spent between hack, metal, trading, village, commerce, and taxation, and then on into other things later, and possibly into these as well. But for now, we'll just continue on with what we're being told. We now need to select our town, press the general tab, raise the tax level. Taxes collect gold from each citizen per tax level. Higher tax levels will increase your daily revenue but will lower happiness. Okay. So you got to find that balance, similar to a game like Total War, where you've got your city management, and the more you increase taxes, the less happy people are, the more likely that you are to have some kind of unrest there. Same in this game. Right, next we're going to go to the town. So we clicked it. Okay. Sometimes, for whatever reason, it's taking a couple of clicks for it to register those click things. Maybe there's like, maybe the area that you need to click isn't quite the same size, or maybe it's just there's a delay between when you click it and when it actually registers that you clicked it. Okay, so we're going to travel to the town. I think when we get there, we will be able to enter the town and free build within the town. So I'm going to be able to show you that part of the game as well, because I think that is a nice part of the game. I'm hoping that at some point in the future, I don't know whether, because the guys are getting kind of close to release, but I hope at some point in the future, you're going to be able to free build a rather large town. At the moment, you can only do kind of small towns. But my kind of dream is to have, you know, a sprawling town. Okay, so here we are. Go to your town, you can speed up time, etc, etc. Okay, press T to switch to the real-time strategy mode. So what this is doing is going to show us how to free build a house. Just waiting for, I think it's taking a while for everything to load in. Again, if you have a more modern PC, you're not going to have these kind of, well, you're not going to have as bad issues, let's put it that way, as I am. Right, so our guys have loaded in now. We're going to press T. Okay, now we're going to press the build button and trade. So now it's going to let us build a tavern. Place the tavern in the empty location, in an empty location. You can hold control while moving your mouse to rotate. So that's great. They've added that in. That's something I mentioned before, was that there was no... Previously, there was no indication of how you rotate buildings. So I like that. Okay, so where do I want to place the tavern? I probably want to place this somewhere over here. Just want to get a view of where it would sit best within the confines of the town. Now, one thing I know is that there's a road, but it's very hard to see the road in this mode, which I don't like. I would like the road to be more defined, because I would think that the tavern is going to be butted up against the road, right? And now we're going to... I'm going to turn like so. Okay, now. For now, I'm going to place the tavern there. Okay, so that's placed. Then builders will come along. It's going to take a little while for it to be built up. Right, so saying we have to expand our influence. We'll press M to switch to world map. We'll do that. So we let the tavern get built. Press the influence view. So what this shows is that all of the green parts are where we can build. And the more influence we have, the more hexes will be covered by that green zone. Okay, so build an outpost. So we have to build an outpost here. I'm going to select it from here. So I feel like this part is kind of just skipping over some stuff. Previously in the tutorial, they would tell you what the need for the outpost was. Through Argyle, who would tell you that it was either through Argyle or through Captain Morris, but one of them would tell you that the outpost was there to act as a deterrent to enemies who were trying to claim our land. But at the moment it doesn't do that. It just kind of tells you to build it. So I just clicked on that. I'm gonna wait a second to see if it registers that click, and if not, I'm going to click it again. So I'm going to click it again now. There we go. Okay. So now we need to return to Argyle. So hit space to highlight ourselves. Then click over. No, that didn't work. Oh, we got to use it from here. That's why. Okay, let's do that. So one thing about that, yeah, I guess the tutorial wants to control every piece of movement that we do or every click that we have within there, but sometimes that can cause a little bit of confusion because we've been taught different ways to move, and we've only just learned the spacebar to select ourselves and then right click on the map to move us to that location. But it didn't use that. It used left click on the location and then click the boot to go there. But it's all good. Right, so we're back here. We now have to go speak to Argyle. So it looks like they've dispensed with... I suppose it makes sense not using the yellow circles here because we should know that Argyle is in here because we've spoken to him before. Let's have a chat with Argyle. Hello, my lady. Have you finished the construction projects? Yes, I have. Excellent. There are rumors of your selfless and personal command of the town. Your people will work better for the next few days. Keep this up, and your kingdom will never fail you. Here's a note about more advanced kingdom management. Also, I can give you information about adventuring, kingdom management, and other useful information, so feel free to ask me anything. Speaking of useful information, I've received word that Priska, the Archmage, wants to meet you in person. Where is Priska? I thought she would be here to meet me. I thought so too, Your Majesty. She set off a day or so ago to a tower one of her apprentices found. She hasn't returned? There's been no word from her or her party. Why didn't you stop her? You know what Priska is like. Besides, I didn't fancy my chances telling a bunch of mages that they couldn't go somewhere. It took a week for the itching to stop the last time I displeased Priska. She said it must have been just the rough material of my tunic, but I know better. She can be a pain sometimes, but I'm worried about her. Perhaps you could go check on her? Where is this tower she went to investigate? She was rather vague about its location, but I can mark the general area on your map. You should be able to find it without too much searching. When you do find her, please let me know. I'll let you know once I've found her. Please do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a chat with him to see what other things are available to a newer player. Be sure to check your kingdom's economy and upkeep. If you run out of money, your soldiers will desert, and your buildings will be demolished. It's a nice tip. Okay, so we can ask about Priska. We can ask about any new rumors, any way I can help the kingdom. We'll do that later. I'd like to ask you some questions is what we want to do. Sure, what do you need to know? About adventuring. Yes. How do I fight? We know that already. How do I use my items? How do I improve my skills? How do I do quests? Let me ask something. Okay, so how do I use my items? Okay, so it brings this up for you. Press I to open your inventory. Press and hold the left mouse button to drag items between inventory zones. Left click the mouse button to use, transfer an item. Click the right mouse button to open the item menu. You can drag items between the following. The left zone is for your character's equipment. The right zone is for your inventory storage. The center zone is for your character's display. Open chests or vendors. The bottom zone is for quick bars. You can switch between your inventory and available spells by clicking on the spell icon. You can switch between the 3 quick bars by pressing their buttons or by pressing C, B or B. Okay. Let me ask you something else. So we're gonna try that now. That's all for now. Okay, so I for inventory. First person inventory, press I to open. Okay, so we've seen that already. Right, so this is all the stuff we got from the bandits that we looted. Now, so we wanted to use one of those. We could just drag it from there onto our person. Let's see, is there anything that we got that we can actually make use of? At the moment it looks like no. What's this here? Soldier gear. So soldier gear is stuff that we can later on give to our blacksmith or give to the Merchants Guild as well, but that we'll deal with that later. Okay, so what I want to do for now is I want to drag this down here on the hotbar so that when we need to, we can use it for healing rather than just using our health potions. And let's see, we will also drag a dagger here. Okay, and then I want to put it on my person. I drag it over here, and then you can see it's equipped there. But for now, we'll switch back to our regular sword because we don't want to use something that is inferior. But that's how you would do it. You drag stuff from here, either to your character directly or to your hotbar. But something I want to check, so I'm going to put this back over here. Now, what, hang on, how did it manage to get there? Up there. I want to put this back here. Oh, it's switching them out now. That's interesting. So can I drag anything from here over to here at all? Let's try to put the bread back. Oh, we actually ate it. Okay, well, I'm sure that that's not how that's supposed to work. I could be wrong, but this is our inventory. But it's acting as if we dragged it onto our person, which is certainly interesting. Because what I wanted to check was that sometimes you can drag something to your equipment, but it won't necessarily go to your hotbar. I'm going to try that now. We're going to drag this crude dagger instead of that one. And then I'm going to drag this crude saber in and see if that goes into our hotbar as well. It doesn't, but it's equipped, but it's not on our hotbar. So we'd then have to include it on our hotbar. So let's see if we can do it from here. Cross. So there we go. It's in our hotbar there. So even though we replace something, we still need to put it in our hotbar because otherwise we won't be able to switch back and forth between things. It'll just get stuck back in our inventory. Okay. Now, so there's other things to talk to him about, but I don't want to go through a whole heap of them. So what we'll probably do is in other videos, we will have a look at some of that stuff when it's kind of appropriate to do so. But for now, we are going to end this one here. Next time we will do the mission that I was talking about, going to find Priska, who is the chief mage of our kingdom, and see what's going on at the tower that she found. And yeah, so maybe we'll learn a bit more from that. But for now, that is the end of this one. I will say again, if you're interested in the game, you should definitely go and check it out on Steam. I feel like it is, in its current state, is worth the money to get it and pick it up. You're going to have plenty of entertainment out of it. You think you're going to get your money's worth out of it. If you're not sure about it, maybe wait for a while and go and pick it up later on. But yeah, from my point of view, I would definitely recommend the game. But that is it for now. Hope you are keeping safe out there, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.